But let's break down this 5 mil in 5 years. So you've simplified your product line. So we're just going to talk about one thing. If you were just a shower company, like I know a bunch of you are, and you eliminated mirrors, you're not doing windows, you're not doing hack outs, no storefront, you're just doing showers. That's all. You're going to be the best damn shower company your region's ever seen. And you want to do just $5 million off of those showers a year. Let's say your average shower is $1,500. So I know we got shower doors, 800, 900. What's your lowest, your like average shower, Brandon?
Probably 12 to 15. It's right around there.
So for us, it was like, I know we were doing a lot of high end, the 1/2 inch low iron, full 90s, steam showers and stuff. And those could get $3,000, $4,000, right?
Yeah.
But then shower doors that were lower, $600, $800, $900. So our average came out to about 1,500, which is why I'm using that number. So in that case, you're trying to get to $5 million. You'll need to install 3,334-ish showers a year. So that sounds like a large number, but if we break it down to the weekly, the daily goals, we do this math backwards, that's 65 showers a week and about 13 showers a day. That's a doable goal. You shared with us last week how many, about how much you're trying to do in revenue, and that was including your handrails and wine cellars and all that stuff, right? And right now you install about how many showers a week?
We're probably at about 25 showers a week.
25, 30. So you're almost there, right?
Yeah.
Like
so
you double, when you a little more double and you're hitting that.
When you break it down per day, I mean, $5 million is a big number, obviously. So when you break that down to per day, per week, that number is a lot smaller, and it's a lot easier to hit those smaller goals to eventually get to that bigger goal of $5 million a year. If that's your goal in 5 years or 10 years or whatever it is. So if it's $1 million, the number gets even smaller, and you should be able to hit that pretty quick. But if you concentrate on those small goals, the daily goals, those bigger yearly goals come quick.
Right. I mean, even this, so it breaks down to about 20,000 a day, 100,000 a week. If you had 4 builders you were working for on a regular basis, and you go and do 3 showers, 4 mirrors, and a small wine cellar for each builder, something along that, or a handrail, a shower, all one-day jobs, $6,000, $7,000 a piece. You got 3 crews doing that. I mean, that's 6 men out there installing $20,000 in a day. I know a lot of you probably hit those 20,000 a day a few different times. So if you break it down and you just could do that consistently, like what was your best day and best month look like, and how can you duplicate and replicate that on a daily basis is kind of the goal.
Yeah.
So these are just rough numbers, but I think it kind of breaks it down for you guys to understand a little bit. So you've done the math. How do you get there? So last week we talked about for every 2 to 3 employees, so saying 2 in the field, 1 helper, 1 lead, and 1 in the office or doing sales, they should be generating about $400,000, $500,000 a year. So 10x that and you'll reach your goal, right? So 10 times 500,000, $5 million. And this means you'll need about 25 plus employees with 8 to 10 trucks out there on the road. Not saying 30 because you don't need 3 to hit that goal. And the bigger you get, the easier it is to hit that goal.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna the bigger you get, the more efficient you're gonna get as well. So if you have multiple trucks, you're gonna be able to break down your scheduling to have trucks in certain areas to where you can literally have, a truck in the here we can have a couple trucks in the East Valley, a couple trucks in the West Valley, North and South, and you can kind of, schedule it a lot easier and, hit your installs faster and keep deadlines. But like for instance, let's say like a guy forgets a hinge or there's a scratch hinge, and we got another truck that's right down the street that can just, we have safety kits on all our trucks that guys can just give him a hinge if he needs a hinge. So that way you don't have to lose that job for the day, go back another day. You're losing time. You're being more efficient by just getting it done that day and moving on.
So off topic, you keep inventory on your trucks?
I do. I keep safety kit on every truck for chrome, brush nickel, and oil rub bronze, U-channel clamps, and heavy duty hinges, offset hinges.
And y'all take like full inventory on that, just like you do at your shop?
We do once a week, full inventory on all the trucks once a week. So
who's in charge of that?
Shop manager, kind of like he's not really a shop manager. He's more of like a, one of those floaters. He does all different types of stuff for the shop, but a lot of times, he'll do the inventory, he'll clean the shop, he'll organize it, he'll keep,
like a utility player like you talked about last week.
Yeah, definitely. Just like a utility player. So I'm really big on those utility players.
And primary focus though is to make sure the shop stays full inventory, clean, organized.
Full inventory, cleaning, building hardware kits, checking in glass, making sure it's getting staged on the right rack, and inputting all that information. So
we have 2 office personnel, and we try to have them do that. But I wonder if it would be more convenient for us if we had someone that was their full-time job. That way the admin could do more office clerk duties instead of having to worry about what's on in the shop,
It definitely helps. So especially with our program that we have, I mean, we've implemented that out in the shop now. So everything gets checked on that. It doesn't have to get checked in the office anymore. So we know exactly when something's ready to be scheduled.
Sweet. So something to think about. Off subject, entrepreneur, shiny, bold, saw an opportunity to learn something for myself there. So the next thing we need to do is we need to visualize where we're going, right? And who can help you? Because you can't do this on your own. You're gonna have to start delegating duties, tasks. You can't be out there all day, every day, doing it yourself. You're gonna have to duplicate yourself as an installer, as what you were as a helper, sales, estimating, all that stuff. So the key players you need to consider: a general manager that looks over the day-to-day jobs, an estimator to help bring in new jobs and follow up on old ones, a scheduler, dispatch to efficiently plan days and routes, an administrator to help with the day-to-day office procedures, lead installers to run the truck, helpers that want to grow being the key word there, into lead installers, a measurer that's reliable and detail oriented, and a shop manager to receive product and inventory your shop.
Yeah, I mean, key role players are huge. I mean, you're always going to have people that just punch in, punch out for the day, and that's what they do, and you need those people, but you're going to have your key guys too that they're going to help you grow for sure.
So somebody had a question on the IG Live, and I'll kind of share it with everyone. It was, I got 11 employees last year, made $2.5 million in sales, 4 trucks, 4 lead men, 4 helpers, and 3 office personnel. How do these numbers look compared to other companies? Never had an idea of how efficient that is. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, looks pretty solid, because I'm right about in the same area with 3 trucks, 10 employees, and doing about the same. That's really cool.
So that,
I think you're doing really efficient, man. I think that's great.
It looks pretty efficient.
How do you scale that into more is the question. Are you wanting to scale that into more? Or are you just are you happy where you're at and you're just trying to sustain? So here, all we're going to be talking about, just for the future, you guys, like, we want to grow. All we want to do is grow. We don't want to be stale. We don't want to be stagnant. We're trying to do something bigger and more. That's what this is all about. We're looking for other like-minded people that want to do more with us. Sorry, I'm bouncing back and forth. We got a lot more people, it looks like, on the IG Live.
Right.
I can't see who's all on here.
I was trying to help you, but it's going to make you so just keep
going. All right, so we got all those people there. And so a little saying that I always like to say is, you have to know where you're going, or you'll be like a one-legged duck swimming in circles.
Been there, done that.
If you could just imagine that, this poor old duck, he's only got one leg, he's out in the pond and he's just paddling and he can't go nowhere. Just that one leg's got him going in circles. Even if he wanted to go somewhere, he couldn't, because he didn't have the right tools, the right processes, the right systems. So we're not saying that we know everything. We want to learn from one another. That's what this group and this networking gig is all about. And then we want to do something more with that. But we definitely are working daily to do more, to learn more, to improve. I think even the biggest and the best companies, even the ones doing the hundreds of millions of dollars a year, are still trying to improve on a daily better. How can we improve today compared to what we did yesterday? Would you agree?
Sure. So DE Glass Services has a question. Which systems or programs do you guys use to expedite the estimating process? And how do you close the deal when customers are getting other competitive bids? For example, out here, we use spreadsheets, and we custom built an app for us to take out in the field. So all of our stuff is on an iPad out in the field. And we also use spreadsheets to quote showers quick, so we don't ever have to get a hard quote from the vendor unless it's something, some kind of specialty glass that we don't know square foot cost on. But everything is in our spreadsheet. We have a lot of information in there. Closing a deal, I mean, everyone shops, right? Everyone usually should get at least 3 bids on stuff, but I think it's just your performance and how confident are you to close the job. What kind of attitude you have, what kind of knowledge are you bringing to the customer. So the biggest thing when I'm selling a job in the field, I'm going to be out there and I'm going to explain every little detail and flood the customer with information. Let them know about their options, Starfire glass, especially if it's light tile. Try to give them all those options and just give them so many details and knowledge that they want to go with you because they trust you. And there's a lot of guys that go out there and all they do is they just quote, and they're grumpy old men, and that's all they want to do is they quote and they walk away and that's it. But trying to close the job in person is going to be the best thing. So if you can get a price right there in the field, turn around and give them the price, close it, collect your deposit, and move on. You close way more jobs in the field than you would to take it back to the office and try to close it later, because that's what most people do.
Hell yeah. I know just from meeting Brandon on Instagram, one day he showed me his spreadsheet on the back end, just a snapshot. I asked him to send it to me and he said no, like a dickhead. And and then so I just showed Rob the screenshot, and the next day Rob showed up and he had the same thing built for us in Ames Green. But it was awesome because any job that we go to, we can quote it on site. We could train any of our guys to do so, even though some technicians don't. But definitely when we were doing showers or we're selling full houses of windows, we're trying to give on-site estimates, and that kills the competitors. And having some kind of display. When we were doing showers, I had a display that was super killer. I'll bust it out and show it to you guys sometimes, but every time I busted it out, even to high-end builders, they'd be like, man, no one has anything like this, and it was really cool. So I know my buddy Matt at Clearly Glass, he carries like a duffel and has all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Systems for me, Smart Builder, if you're in the UK and not in the United States, that's the shit. I know Dustin, he uses it here in the United States with Anderson Glass. And he loves it. He says it's a game changer, but it's a little high dollar for us, and it doesn't do everything it does overseas. So it's not as good for us here. GlassPack is a big one, but it's expensive. I mean, you're talking hundreds of dollars per user, not just for the owner. And there's no percentage buy-in, so it's too outrageous. I know some of the big players use that, but we use Housecall Pro. It's a cool service, but I'm really hoping that Brandon will let me get a piece of his software because it does some things that ours doesn't. And we're having to use Trello because Trello is cool for project management. His spreadsheet that he uses is kind of tied to his software, and it's very similar. And I think if he ever brings it to market, it should be quite a bit less expensive as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, ours does, we schedule through it. We do our estimates and invoicing on it. We task people on it. We have a dashboard. It has a project manager built into it, so it's pretty in depth and it's just getting better. So one of these days we'll bring it to market and see where it goes. Sweet. But it's definitely user friendly. It's simplified.
Yeah, if you get showers on there, that'd be super cool, where you can do your showers directly from there too. Yep. Sweet. So everyone that on the strategy stuff, thank you guys for joining.